2 buildings, total 17,000 feet, 7,000 square feet of office, 7 drive-ins, gross income's 200 grand, taxes and insurance, all landlords' responsibilities, verbal expenses are 30 grand, and it's 100% occupied. Okay, let's have some fun here. So, price holder, let's say that we're going to do like 2 million bucks. I'm just going to do a price holder real quick. We'll get to actual details in a minute. Due diligence and civil, I can probably say that closing costs are only going to be maybe 75,000 bucks. Due diligence and civil, I'll probably say like 30 grand maybe. Let's say loan to purchase, we can just do 70 as a placeholder. 7%, we can probably do, yeah, 7's actually pretty accurate right now. It is industrial, so we're going to do a 25-year term. We're not going to get interest-only payments. We're going to get amortizing. On this deal, all we have right now is $200,000 in gross income. So let's just total this up. So let's break this down. We got one tenant, which is warehouse space. And we got office. Square footage is 7,000 for office, and then the remaining is 10,000 for warehouse. That's 100,000. And we got a 0 over here. So we're gonna clean this up. And we got 1 unit and we got 1 unit. All right, and then total income is $200,000. $200,000 is $16,667 per month. So I'm just gonna ballpark some figures for a second. Let's see what we get. 12. Okay, base rent is going to equal 12. I'm going to build out the sheet in real time. So we're going to do 12 times 10,000 feet. This is just base averages. 120 grand, and then for this one, let's just say it's 14. Let's see what this comes to real quick. 98. All right, this is monthly. $12 a foot. Okay, got it. So divide by, let's do that. That's why I go divide by 12 months. That's what I meant to do. This is very close. Let's bring this down to 1150. That should be pretty damn close. Yeah, all right. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm just ballparking real fast, guys, just to kind of give you some reference. We're trying to get it to around $16,667 a month. This is pretty damn close. We're going to have, let's just do 5% vacancy. Is probably fine if they're saying it's 100% occupied. But let's go to some expenses. They're saying that taxes, this is very minimal expenses. Tax and insurance is all landlord. Verbal expenses is only 30 grand. Okay, considering we have no idea about any of the details, let's make some rough estimates. So it's saying that taxes, insurance is 30 grand. All right, so we're gonna make some assessments that $20,000 is the taxes, insurance are $10,000. Internet, I'm gonna guess we don't really have any internet situations here for us. We're just going to blank that out. Water, sewer, we're probably going to have something here. So let's just say 6,000 bucks. Electric, probably going to have a decent amount of electric. There's no other expenses here, but it's saying, I'm guessing that everything, taxes and insurance, and all landlords.
Henry, what I did for this is since I read that as 30,000 altogether for the expenses, I literally just cleared out the whole thing. I just put 30,000 for property taxes.
Got it. Well, there's going to be definitely way more than that in expenses. I couldn't imagine that being the only expense. Sure, if we want to say that, take this as an example. Every property you guys ever look at, you're going to look at a minimum of around 25 to 35% expenses. Somewhere in that ballpark. Now, don't get me wrong. Who pays it is a question, right? It could be the landlord. It could be the tenant. But if you have a property and they're saying the property's expenses in totality is only 30 grand, I'm saying you're not calculating everything. There's something missing. You know, if I start getting, like, we don't really need, these numbers are just ridiculously high. Admin services, 600 bucks, fine. Reserves, you can do like 3,600 bucks. I meant 36. Hold on. All right, repairs and maintenance is obviously astronomical, but we can probably do at least 6,000. Trash removal should probably be a fraction of that. We'll say 3,000. Marketing, 2,400. Extermination, none. Snow removal, it's Texas, so we'll say it's next to nothing. There's probably, landscaping is probably 2,400 bucks, and electric and gas, let's just say this is only like 10 grand a piece to heat this whole building. Hold on 1 second, waiting room. Let's admit these people. Come on, up $6. And then let's say electric is around 6,000 as well. All right. Let's see where we're at. 78 grand. You know, maybe we can say taxes on this are 7 grand here, and we can say taxes are 12 grand. Because look at this. Like right now, I'm saying my expenses are 67,000 a year. I'm grossing 200,000. $200,000 divided by, times 0.35, 70 grand. So I'm saying 35% expenses. This is about accurate, right? Like this is, now I'm not saying the landlord is covering all this. Maybe the tenants are paying a portion, but These are probably some fairly close estimates of expenses. Let's break this down now a little bit further. Now the question is, based on the location, do we think we can increase the value of this property? I mean, obviously we should probably clear this out. Do we believe that we can increase the rents here, right? Like what? Obviously, there's not a lot of numbers to go off of. So what we would need to do, in my opinion, is look to this deal as a triple net as is price range condition, where like I don't know what the leases look like. I don't know who pays what. I don't know who pays any expenses. So I'm always going to assume it's gross rent. I'm never going to assume ever that it's triple net. So if we assume that these are gross rents, and we assume that these are the top of the market, and I cannot increase it because I have no information other than it says Austin, Texas. Let's, I guess maybe we can go to CoStar real fast because I don't know what part of Austin, Texas. This is very minimal information, but this is just to give you some quick reference points of like why information is so important. Let's go to Austin, Texas real quick. I'm pulling up on CoStar on my phone. So you got Austin, Texas. Let's do industrial leasing comps. Lease comps. What has signed in the last, let's see, 12 months. There's been 244. All right, let's go to area sign. Let's say up to 10,000 and above 2,000. 119. Let's go back. All right, 12 months is just too far. Let's go since July. 51. That's still a crazy amount. Let's go to August. All right, 40. Jesus Christ, there's a ton here in Austin. So let's see what's coming up. $1 a month gross. $1.67 triple net. This building looks great though. That's small square footage. $1.50 a month triple net. $1.67 again triple net. $1.50 a month triple net. All right. I mean that's. We're starting to see a pretty hefty amount, and I think, come on. So it looks like 12 to 18 bucks triple net all day long here. Even 12 to like 20 bucks triple net. So it looks like 15 bucks. I'm going to be really conservative here and say 12 triple net is pretty close. It is like easy market, right? So market price monthly equals 10,000 feet times, we're going to say 12 triple net, but hold on because we're going to add some calculations here. You got to go to expenses. How much do we have to add in for expenses? So $4 a month triple net, or let's say let's say $3.75 a month triple net. So not 12, we're going to do $15.75. And then you got to divide this by 12. And this would say this is going to cover all expenses, okay? So let's drop this down as well. Quarter to market. Let's say that I can do this in, obviously I don't know what the leases look like, but let's just say it's all, if it's month to month, that'd be fantastic. If not, we're going to say we're going to have to wait a little bit, but let's just say that I can do that. I'm going to put 14 years out. 4 years out. As I say, 16 quarters, and let's just do the same thing here. It's saying that over time I can get there. Let's do 2% increases a year because I don't know what the heck it looks like. Let's go to summary and see what the damage is. All right, well, the current value of $2 million is absolutely ridiculous. Cap rate is a 6, but my internal rates of return are terrible. So the big question is this, right? Like, obviously, there's a couple mentality or kind of viewpoints that I have on this deal. One of which is I don't know what the leases look like, and without leases, I can't make any assumptions, right? Like, so even the income numbers, I'm kind of ballparking here just for mental purposes, but like to do this is going to skew a deal. So let's just say that I'm buying it at the top of I can't change these rents. Let's say everybody's locked in for 5 years, which is very common, by the way. People will sign a long-term lease. There's nothing you can do about it, and you're kind of stuck with the tenants you have for a long time. I don't know, and again, we can't make assumptions that we can change things. Based on these evaluations on current rents and me selling it for probably a 7.5 cap in the future, my future value is a $1.8 million number, which means I can only move this lever. Let's go to 1.2. I mean, I'm at a cap rate of a 10 day one, which is, is pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy about it. Cash on cash year one is great. My price per square foot is fantastic. My stabilized price per square foot is very good. I mean, obviously it's Austin, Texas, which obviously a great market, but I don't know am I in the outskirts? I have no idea where I'm at with this deal, but if I'm just getting a deal off the cuff and I don't know this market and I need to be very conservative, I'm looking at probably something like this range, right? Even this might be even a little bit too generous to offer, but I know Austin, Texas is a great market. We all can make that assumption. Also, hold on. Overall, this looks like a great deal. I'm very happy with this deal. If you want to ask any questions about how I came to these conclusions, but in my opinion, the way I'm looking at it is that I'm buying a great cap rate day one. Austin, Texas, price per square foot is phenomenal. I obviously would love to get more clarification. What did he buy it for? Is there a price that he's actually looking for? But with any type of situation where you don't have any information on a deal, you have to be very conservative. I don't know if I can get my rents up. I don't know if who's paying the expenses. All of that is very, very important to be paying attention to. Because if I knew hypothetically that the landlord is hypothetically only paying taxes and insurance, look how much it changes the deal. So if they're paying that, then you can probably change this to like, let's say $14 and let's say 13.5. So if I found that out, obviously now the deal is unbelievable at 1.2 million. My future values were 2.2. I can probably easily pay now 1.45. Yeah, I can be a little bit higher now. So once I figure out who pays what, I can feel comfortable going in at different numbers. Obviously, being conservative, maybe you can go down to a 7. I can start stretching numbers once you kind of figure out who's paying what, how long things are listed for, right? Like if we found out hypothetically that everybody's month to month and I can jack the rent up to, like we said, the 1575 number, right? 15.75 times 10,000. I got to hit equal sign first, sorry. All right, let's say we can do both of those. Let's say I can do that in 12 quarters each. All of a sudden, this deal starts making a lot more sense. Now the future value skyrockets up to 2.8 million. Now instead of paying 1.45, I can pay 1.85. I could be in that range. I still have a great cap rate. My cash on cash isn't horrible. I mean, I'm starting to not be spectacular, but yeah, I mean, this is one of those deals where like guys, like when you're on the phone with somebody, this is why it's so crucial to gather exactly the correct and as much correct information as possible. Right? Because when a seller says, oh yeah, I only pay the taxes and insurance, keep in mind, you still got to add vacancy rates, you still got to add management, you still got to add repairs. That is a cost of the seller, right? Even if they say they're only paying taxes and insurance, you have to add in those costs. So anyways, this kind of gives you a couple different variations depending on where you're at. I'd probably still start at 1.2 million to be conservative, depending on what the seller wants. You can kind of make adjustments as time goes on.